Yes, on guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager save. This is episode number 87, and today returning with a brand new season as our 10th year of the save gets underway and our second year with Dortmund. Today we'll take a look at having a pre-season, see the first game of the campaign, which is the Super Cup against the 19-time Bundesliga in a row champions Bayern. And of course, the transfer special, where guys, it was big. Let's get to that first. Yep, over £200 million spent in the window. Yeah, it's a dock save, believe it or not, but let's just say since joining Dortmund I've had to splash the cash to even get close to Bayern. So we'll start with the departures as always then, and one did actually went through at the back end of last season. That was Conor Bradley, who's left to Southampton for £50 million. Great right back in the game, really quick. Good end product on him going forward as well, but he wanted to leave. Southampton put in a bid, as did Luton Town to be fair as well, and in the end he chose the Saints. So return to English football, but totally fine with that. He wanted to leave, and like I said before, I'm not in the business of keeping players here if they don't want to be here. But as to the departure accounting to this season, you'll see we loaned out one of our good young players here to Bordeaux. We'll keep an eye on him there in France. We sold Maximovic. He regularly featured on our bench last season due to a lack of depth. This guy has a 50% sell-on clause. So the reason I sold him is very simple. We're quite overloaded at striker. I don't know if we'll ever get much game time here, and he's got a fickle personality as well. But the big sales are here as follows. James McAtee went to Ajax for £23 million. This was a terrible sale though. Like I'll be honest here, I did not realise that Man City held a 50% sell-on fee on James McAtee, which is what I do when I'm selling my players. So I got out-doxed. Docs got out-doxed by the AI. They had a 50% sell-on clause. I didn't realise it until McAtee was due to leave. And then I just thought, you know what, forget it. I'll just let him go. And so in the end, we literally only got like £11 million, £11.5 million. Such an awful sale. I got out-doxed. Can you believe that? But still, the other two sales were both for a combined fee of 60 mil, £30 million each. Andre Santos, the Brazilian holding mid, he's gone to Napoli for £13 million. Totally fine with that. And also Tyler Morton. We already agreed this deal last season. Went to Stuttgart for £30 million. I think this market valuation is really inflated. I don't think he's worth that personally, due to turn 29 in a couple of months' time. So yeah, 60 mil combined. So in total, £137 million, I think, for all of those sales there. And in the new window, like I said, I spent just over £200 million. I've bought in 7 new players. Bayern Munich, we're coming for you. This season, we're going to be in that title race. And this year, I think we can push them all the way. Let me show you the signings one by one. So we'll start with 17-year-old. Yeah, it's a Doc's transfer special. What were you expecting? Yeah, young lad released by RB Leipzig. Looks okay, and just put him in our academy, and we'll see how he gets on. They get much more excited from here. I know what you were thinking. Hang on, I thought you just said you're going to threaten Bayern Munich. What, with this sort of player? No, they get more excited from here. Let's get to the real signings now. I'll start with a happy birthday to my second signing. Yep, he's just turned 32 on today, the 3rd of August. It is a freebie. It is a veteran or approaching veteran, but a really solid player. Yeah, welcome to Dortmund, Brahim Diaz. Of course, came through the Man City. No, he didn't come from the Man City Academy, but he was part of the Man City youth squad regardless before moving on to Real Madrid. Since then, he was forever alone at AC Milan. In the save, they finally bought him for 13 and a quarter. Couple more years there. Then he went on loan to the Premier League for 2 years. First with Aston Villa and then with Leeds. And the past few years, he's been at Torino. And he's put up some okay numbers, really. So in the save, he's done quietly average, really, in what you'd call underperforming sides there for the most part. Well, not the Aston Villa sides, was that the year when they finished top 4? No, that would have been before. Okay, never mind. Sorry. But anyway, released by Torino in the summer. And I like Brahim Diaz, you know. Physically, he's okay. What I like is he can hit the ball with either foot. He's got fantastic technique, decent flair, good first touch, really good dribbler, and a good passer as well. As an advanced playmaker, he'll do a really solid job for you with 15 vision as well. So just in for some leadership and also some cover as well. Because last year, that was a big problem. We had no squad depth whatsoever last year. We've rectified that problem this season. And because we're back in Europe this season in the Champions League, we needed some homegrown players as we have basically no one here. Well, I've bought one back. Yep, sold on to Werder Bremen in the save and just 2 years at the Weserstadion. And now he's returning to the Signal Iduna Park. Welcome back, Kjell Watjen. Yep, came through the Dortmund Academy, but didn't really play much with Dortmund before he was sold on to Werder Bremen. 2 good years there. Helped him get promoted back to the Bundesliga in his first year. And then last year helped him stay in the Bundesliga with a really solid season as well. He's alright, he's okay to be fair, physically he's quite well balanced, good fitness there with 16 and 14 stamina as well, mentally really solid to be fair, all across the board for the most part, with 17 determination, 15 flair, 14 positioning, 14 vision as well, and technically he's not that bad, 13 first touch, 13 passing and 13 technique, really. As a utility player, I think this guy could play practically everywhere apart from striker, really. He's quick enough to play on the wing. He's good enough in terms of his positional sense to play as a wing back or slightly deeper as a DM or even just a CM with the 14 vision as well. He's got right back in his position. I think even at 6'1", he could possibly, with 14 jumping, maybe turn into a ball-playing defender in his final years. And at 25 years old, he's not even in the prime of his career right now. So to be fair, to bring him in for quite a small transfer fee of 10.5 mil, I bought him back, and he's just here as a utility player. To be fair, as a squad player and homegrown as well, he's all right. He'll provide decent cover for us. Next up, as we add to the squad depth, particularly through the middle of the park, I've brought in Samuel Lokonga on a free transfer as well. Yep, arriving with Brahim Diaz. 31-year-old Samuel Lokonga, due to turn 32 in a couple of months' time. Comes in after being released by Fiorentina in the sale. And he's had a brilliant career out in the Serie A as well. And I'm really shocked that Fiorentina decided to let him go. I don't know if it was a contract dispute, but I don't understand it. He obviously came through the Anderlecht Academy, looked really talented. Arsenal decided to snap him up. He didn't really do too well there, but he got a full year's worth of football in the save at Crystal Palace. And after he came back, Arsenal were like, do you know what? I don't think you're going to make it here. So they sold him to Fiorentina after a successful loan spell out there. He moved on for 10.25 mils. They recovered a bit of the money they lost on him. But at Fiorentina, well, he might not have liked English football, but he was brilliant in this area. First couple of years, he was okay. But after that, really solid. Averaging over a 6.95 every single season. The past 2 years as well. Those are his best years in a Fiorentina shirt. A couple of years ago, 5 assists and 2 goals in 37. And last year, 2 assists and 3 goals, in 35. For a midfielder that's normally sitting a little bit deeper in this Fiorentina side, Mr. Consistent, barely missed a game, did really well there in Italy. I don't really know why he was released, to be honest here, because he's in on a free transfer, and as you can see, Samuel Lokonga, to me, I think he is a little bit better sitting deeper as a DLP, personally speaking, with the passing, the vision, and also the teamwork and the work rate as well. Physically, nothing really jumps out at you here. He's painstakingly average at best, but he's got good enough fitness and stamina as well. But mentally, he's really solid all across the board. No negatives to see here whatsoever. Very good vision, very good teamwork, really good anticipation, which is one of the most underrated stats in FM in my opinion, with good decisions as well. And technically too, 15 first touch, 15 technique, and 16 passing as well. So he's a ball retention sort of player. He's good enough, do you know what I mean? Plays short, simple passes, that's dictate tempo. This is the kind of guy who's just going to sit in our team as a deep line playmaker and just keep holding the ball and again, dictate the pace of the game we play out as well. So we're on a free transfer, and after a few good years at Fiorentina, he's now here at Dortmund. But whilst those signings are what you'd call good value for money, the next 3 are the big 3, and I'm going to reveal them one by one. They cost me a fortune, but let's just say I'm very excited about all of them. And we'll start off with another player returning to Borussia Dortmund, and it is Filippo Mane. Yes, like I mentioned, now we are back in Europe. We need to make sure we hit those homegrown squad registration rules. And coming in from Arsenal after a few years in English football, Filippo Mane is back at just 26 years old. So yeah, big transfer fee spent to bring him back here. He, of course, was signed very young from Sampdoria in Italy. And he went out on loan to Coventry City, which is a really interesting loan in the save. Then Leipzig bought him a couple of years later for £16 million. Arsenal then put in a massive bid of 35 mil. Dortmund decided to cash in. Leipzig decided to cash in after 2 years there at the RB Arena. And at Arsenal, he had 2 average years at best. Then he was loaned to Aston Villa, and then last year he came back to the Emirates and was fantastic. Played 37 games out of 38 in the league and averaged 7.11. I had to spend a pretty penny to bring him back to Borussia Dortmund. £53 million was the fee, I agreed. But this is an absolutely class defender that can play both centre-back and right-back as well. He's 6'2", and he kind of reminds me of Caleb Akoli, who we had with Bournemouth. Like, physically, all across the board, he's good. Like, he's good in every single attribute, really. And he's 6'2" as well. Mentally, again, really secure all across the board. Slightly concerned about the poor composure, if I'm being honest. but otherwise really solid with 15 positioning and 16 determination. But technically, he's comfortable on the ball, which is really important in our Dortmund system. But also 14 heading, 14 marking, and 12 tackling isn't the best, but he'll do a job. Definitely no doubt about that. He won't be my starting centre-half, obviously, but at 26 years old, he's still getting better. And again, can play centre-half, can play right-back, and can even play slightly further forward as an anchor man in this team as well. So yeah, Felipe Mane back from English football and back at Borussia Dortmund. And again, most crucially, homegrown, trained at the club. Really, really important for those squad registration rules. Welcome back, Filippo. So 2 more signings to show you, and I'm going to start with perhaps the most exciting one of the lot. Yeah, welcome to Borussia Dortmund. Oh man, this guy's got such a bright future. Laureen Kreuzer, who is described as an elite fullback at just 23 years old. Yep, this guy looks pretty goddamn special. You were excited about Stefano. Get more excited about this kid. So in the save, he's been at Stuttgart ever since he came through the academy there. And I found him last season in my first year at Dortmund. But when I did some scouting on him, it said he had no interest in joining us. And I think the reason why is because obviously the year before, Dortmund finished 8th and we weren't in Europe. But this season in the summer, he said he was interested in coming in here. There was big interest from, I think it was Spurs, Manchester City and Liverpool, I think, but 3 English clubs regardless, and he said he wanted to stay in Germany to continue playing his football in the Bundesliga. The past 4 years he's been a regular in Stuttgart's team, and he's been okay, he's been alright, but I think this guy really just needs a better team, a better environment, and that's where you'll get the best out of him. So we signed him for £57 million, and again at just 23 years old, the future is bright. So let me show you his stats. He's described as an elite fullback already, and physically he's really quick. 16 acceleration with 16 pace, and also 16 agility with 17 fitness and 14 stamina, and 18 balance as well. Really, really good. The only negative is that he's small and he can't jump, so he's going to get targeted on set pieces, no doubt about that. That's the only real concern I got with the guy though, because mentally you can see here, there's so much green, it's like he's a vegan, it's unbelievable. So he's got 19 anticipation, 14 composure, decent, but 18 concentration, 19 decisions, 17 vision, and I know you see it there, 20 positioning. Yeah, this guy does not know the meaning of the word lost. You can find him anywhere. 20 positioning! The guy's always in the right place, man. You love to see it. And technically as well, going forward as a left back, 14 crossing, 16 passing, 12 technique, not the best, but it's okay with 13 first touch, but defensively, really good. 16 marking and 13 tackling. Okay, it's not the best, but it's still good enough, if you will, as a wing back in modern football. So, yeah, Laureen is in. The thing is, and I know what you're thinking, hang on a minute, you've already got 2 world-class left-backs, so I think where this guy should be playing, and I know what you're thinking, oh god, here we go, Doxy changing position once again, he's going to waste a player he's brought in, but I think personally, with the traits he's got as well, I feel as though a deep-line playmaker will be really, really good for him. I really, really do, because again, the 17 vision, the 20 positioning, the 19 decisions, 19 anticipation, that's all really important on a DLP. And also as well, you combine the fact he's really, really fit as well. He's strong enough to hold his own in DM, but also too, he's got a good first touch on him, really good passing, and he won't lose track of his man with 16 marking as well. So I think as a DLP, he'll actually do really well there. Yes, we won't get as much out of him in terms of the pace and also the crossing stat as well, but I think personally, whilst left back might be his best position now, I think as a deep line playmaker, we can really get the best out of him here with a good passing, the good vision, and also the key positional sense as well. We've got Luca Netz, we've got Stefano Strilli. We don't need a third quality left back, but as a DLP, that's where I'm training him right now. And I think that's where we will get a lot out of him as well. So yeah, I guess we'll see if the position change ends up being good or not. But for now, that's where he's getting retrained. And the final signing of the window is I was about to say club record signing. It's not. It's the second most expensive signing in club history. £1 million cheaper than Stefano Strilli. But guys, I think you got to give me some credit here, because I've pulled off a worldie. And he's coming back. Oh, you know it's going to be now, don't you? You know it's going to be now, don't you? Welcome back to Borussia Dortmund, Yusufa Moukoko. Yes, Yusufa Moukoko is back after 18 months at Old Trafford. And I had to bring him back when I did the scouting, and I saw he was extremely interested in a return. Yes, one of the best young players in Football Manager is back at Borussia Dortmund and still in the prime of his career. And to be fair, for £80 million, guys, give me some credit. Surely that has got to be a really good deal. So we know all about Moukoko. If you don't, then basically he's one of the hottest prospects in European football right now and one of the best young strikers in world football right now as well. With Borussia Dortmund, he burst onto the scene and within the save became a regular and their starting striker after just 2 years and already started putting up really, really solid numbers. But the season before last, he got off to a red-hot start at the Signal Iduna Park, scoring 10 in 18, and Manchester United said, I think it's time for you to move outside of Germany, mate. They bought him in the January transfer window for £101 million. He scored 11 goals in 12 in the league, 4 in 4 in the Cup, and 4 in 3 in Europe as well. But last season, he didn't play him as much. Only the 8 goals in 20 games, but he was phenomenal in the Champions League and the third highest scorer in the Champions League with 9 in 10. And in the summer, I thought, I'm just going to see what Moukoko would think about a move back to Dortmund or whether he'd be open to it. I wasn't sure he was going to agree, but in the end he said, yeah, if you're interested, definitely put a bid in. I did. £80 million. It was really funny because, you know when you're about to lowball a club and you think, oh, we'll start off at this figure, but they'll probably ask for this figure, and we'll meet somewhere in the middle. I thought for Moukoko, we'll start off at 80 mil, they'll probably ask for 120 or something, and we'll meet in the middle about £100 million. And Manchester United said, yeah, 80 mil's fine. And I was like, I could have got him cheaper. I could have got Moukoko cheaper than 80 million. Unbelievable. In the prime of his career right now, but he is back. He is back at Dortmund, and he's unbelievable. Yeah, one of the best strikers in world football. Let you show you his stats here. So, he's physically fantastic, he's really, really quick, and he's strong enough as well. Mentally, I said before, I feel like composure is a more important stat than finishing on a striker in FM. Debatable, but in my opinion, that's what I would say. 19 composure means he's one of the best in front of goal in world football, with 15 flair too, and 16 off the ball, so normally finds himself into space with 14 anticipation as well. And technically, of course, as well, 17 dribbling, 18 first touch, 16 technique, and 16 for finishing as well. So yeah, fantastic striker, one of the best in world football. The only problem is, whilst the transfer fee was relatively low for a prime Moukoko, the contract was not. Let's just say every time Moukoko scores, I'll be pleased, but also having to open my wallet because I know I'm going to spend a fortune on bonuses this season. Fucking hell. He's going to bankrupt us. Yeah, 245 grand a week isn't enough for Moukoko. It's a 5-year deal, but he also wanted 50 grand every time he plays for the club again. And every time he hits the back of the net, which, let's be honest, it'll probably be a lot, he's going to get an extra 40 goals. So, you know, he scores 5 goals, he gets 200 grand. 5 goals and he gets £200,000. The guy's normally like a 30 goal a season striker, so you do the math. Basically, we're going to go bankrupt on Moukoko. But you know what? If he fires us to a Bundesliga and ends Bayern's 19 time in a row champions, then I think it'll be worth every single penny. Yusufa, welcome back. So yeah, that is it. £201 million spent on our new boys coming in. But I've got to say, to be fair, when you look at the deals here, I actually feel as though we got good value for money on all of our deals. Genuinely. I mean, Kiel was a really cheap fee at £10.5 million. Good squad utility player, homegrown. Felipe Mano, homegrown as well, £53 million in the prime of his career. Lorien Kreuzer, 23 years old, one of the best young players in the game right now, new gens I should say. And Moukoko returning for £80 million in the prime. The rest being freebies. I actually think, even though we spent so much money, I feel as though we got really, really good value for money deals. The only really negative with the big Moukoko contract, other than that, I thought we did it right. And again, you combine these sales here, plus Conor Bradley's deal, which eventually, I say this a lot, this deal actually went through basically at the end of last season. Now, of course, we know it really counts towards this season. That's £137 million. So really, we only had a net loss of £64 million. The big money was spent on agent fees and sign-on fees. But for the most part, I'm really happy with the business here. Really happy. But of course it does mean that financially Dortmund are looking at me and thinking, hang on a second, I thought you had a reputation for being a really stingy person. I thought we were going to be going up and up and up, and instead we're going down and down and down. So we got £1,000 in the transfer budget. We're spending over the budget in terms of wages. The club's never spent more money in terms of weekly wage at £2.25 million per week. Yeah, let's just say Dortmund gave me the cash. And I'm not going to say they regret that, but we're going down towards the red very, very quickly here. So this is our current squad now. We've definitely got more depth than last year, which is really important because last season that was our problem. It wasn't too big of a deal because, of course, we weren't in Europe, but this year we are. So we needed to get more bodies here at this club. And despite the exodus of Bradley and Morton and Santos and so on, I think we've done a good job of improving the squad depth here in terms of quality and quantity. And once again as well, I've brought in those players to make sure we've got enough training at the club. And that means now we've got Mane, Mukoko, Reina, and also... I'm missing one. Oh yeah, Kiel as well, and Obradovic technically as well. We've not got on the transfer list right now. So yeah, now we've got enough basically to meet those registration rules, which is really important because it means we won't have any gaps when we're registering 25-man squad. So yeah, the team's better than last year in my opinion. It's definitely gotten thicker as well. Where is the? Oh, here we are. It's definitely gotten thicker. And I would say it's got more quality, both in the first team and also in depth as well. So yeah, I'm happy with this. Like I said, we want to reduce the weaknesses and add to the strengths, and we've definitely done that in this summer window. So I'm happy with how the team's looking. And in the dynamic screen right now, there's only one player that's unhappy. That's Richard Moulon, who wanted to leave last season, and then he was okay staying, and then he wants to leave again. But Spurs, they're not meeting the valuation. To me, he's definitely worth 40 mil. No one's come in with that yet. Like, 40 mil to me would be an undersale. He's only 23 years old. He's brilliant. But no one's met 40 million yet. So until that happens, he's not going anywhere. But otherwise, the club atmosphere is good, team cohesion's good, and the managerial support is okay at best. But I've only been here for a year, to be fair. And the hierarchy, the three team leaders remain the same. Cabell, Ozcan, and Reina, and the social groups as well have 4 splits. It's always the same in the summer, though. But eventually, they'll blend into one WhatsApp group. So in terms of the competition and expectations for this season, well, in the Super Cup it is don't be outclassed. Yep, this is a realistic Borussia Dortmund board. They know all about Bayern Munich's superpower. Why wouldn't they? They're 19-time-in-a-row champions. DFB Pokal, last year we tanked and got knocked out in the second round. This year they say reached a quarter-final. So hopefully we'll give ourselves a better showing in the DFB Pokal this year in our second season with Dortmund. And in the Champions League, it's just be competitive. So yeah, just get into the league phase, which really... Well, we've already done it. We're going straight in, so we've already hit that objective without even kicking the ball. And the Bundesliga, finishing the top 4. No doubt about it now. We should be a certified top 4 team in the Bundesliga. With the team we've got and the first season finishing in second place, we should be. I don't know if we can dethrone Bayern this year. I'm not too sure. I said realistically, I'm targeting like 4 or 5 seasons before we can start thinking about that. With Mukoko leading the line, listen, you never know, but they're 19-time-in-a-row winners. I don't know if we'll be able to. We'll give it our best shot, don't get me wrong, but once again, the media has said, you're probably going to finish runners-up, Doxy Boy, which again, to be fair, in Season 2, that would be good enough for me, and good enough for the board as well. So in terms of pre-season, it was largely positive. We had 4 wins and 2 draws, and as we head into the Super Cup here, we will take on Bayern. The DFB Pokal first round, where we've drawn against is it a free Liga side, Bonn? Are they free Liga? No, not even free Liga. They're amateur, probably. No, surely not amateur club. Well, part-timers perhaps. Bonner away from home, and certainly Ferris for that. No doubt about that. So, yeah, heading into the Super Cup then, it is Bayern Munich. The only bit of confidence I got for this one is that Bayern didn't win it last year. It was actually RB Leipzig, so maybe Bayern can be beaten. If not in the Bundesliga, maybe in the Super Cup. But, yeah, taking them on in the Super Cup, heading into the German version of the Community Shield, if you will. To be honest, it'll be nice with my first minor honour with Borussia Dortmund, but I won't really be fussed if we don't. Heading back from pre-season, no one is injured, though a few players are slightly unfit, and this will be our team. It's a 4-2-3-1, and I think this will be our best team for the season, personally. Tactics are very, very similar to what they were last year, with a couple of minor tweaks here and there, but a high-line gegenpress for the most part. And I think this is the team you'll most likely see this season, and I think this will be our best team as well. It's Cabell in goal, and a back four of Nets. The Dragon now playing centre-half this season after last year playing DLP last season, and Creswell. Strides at right-back, with Cruiser again playing DLP alongside Ozcan. Company's on the left, Romero's on the right, and Reina does support the second debut, Yusufa Moukoko leading our line. On the bench, you've got Olszewski, Mane, Schlotterbeck, Moulon, Sambi Lokonga, Brahim Diaz, Wimmer TL, and also Araujo as well. By the way, this young striker that came back from Mainz, he's had some big interest. Leipzig put in a bid. He's a homegrown player there, I believe. But no, he's not. He came through Bayern. Who am I thinking of? I swear he was homegrown. Well, he's not as a homegrown Bayern player. They're not having him back, no doubt. But last year was brilliant at Mainz. This year, I'm not sure if I'm going to loan him out again. I kind of want to use him this year after 18 goals and 29 last season. Anyway, he's on the bench alongside Araujo as well. First and only game, it is the Super Cup against Bayern, as we're going to make sure we don't lose 3 straight games against Nagelsmann's side. Come on, Borussia Dortmund. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? The Dragon got 1 year of playing DLP. It was like, I quite like this playing slightly further forward. And I was like, nope, back you go to centre half. And to be fair, I said with the Dragon, I feel like he's just as good at centre half as he is DLP. So really, as Reina hits the bar and Bayern get it away, either position he'll be excelling at this season because he's just that good. Good start from Dortmund, but we made a good start in the previous 2 games we had against Bayern and we lost them both. So still 0-0, woodwork rattled, but searching for that first goal here at the Allianz. Bayern's team is just unbelievable. I mean, it's ridiculous, and they've now just added to it by signing Ansu Fati as well. I mean, I just don't know how we can beat this team. I really, really don't. I think we'll need Nagelsmann to piss off, and I don't know if he ever will. He's totally content right now, winning honour after honour after honour at Bayern, both domestically, and he's also won the 4 Champions Leagues in the save as well. So, yeah, I don't know if we will ever be able to have dethroned Bayern. I really don't. Last season we went close, but yeah, still. Anyway, tied at 0-0 here at the break, unless free kick for Dortmund, and Anthony Company, now wearing number 10, is going to take it. And the Spaniard has been denied by Diogo Costa. You know, there's a lot of talk about who's the best goalkeeper in this year's FM. I think you just seen him make a great save there. Diogo Costa is just sublime in this year's game. So do you know what? I'm pretty pleased with that. Pretty pleased indeed. Bayern have had the better XG so far. They've had more shots. They've had more on target as well. They're dominating possession too, but they haven't had a proper chance yet. We've had 2 good ones from dead ball situations. Tested Costa and hit the bar as well. So we're doing alright out there. We're doing alright despite being the big underdogs here. But still tied at 0-0. 34 minutes to go. Can we get our first goal against Bayern since joining Dortmund? Here's Anthony Company, picked out from the free kick there. And now Luka Netz at left back takes over. Runs straight into Upamecano though. But then to be fair, does well to win it back. Cruiser finds Luka Netz down the left-hand side, and the fullback crosses. Romero's at the far post. Alphonso Davies heads clear, but only to Stefano Stridi. The right back coming inside. The shot almost caught Costa out, but he shovels it behind for a corner. Still 0-0. We've done quite well out there, to be fair. Still tied at 0-0. Good couple of saves by Costa, and the crossbar hit as well. Still 0-0 though, as Bayern hold on. Free kick, Bayern, and Vanna heads on to Matthias de Ligt, whose header is saved by Cabell, and the rebound turned in by Frankie de Jong. Bayern take the lead despite Dortmund having the best chances of the game thus far. Where have I seen this before? Oh yeah, twice in a row last season. Yeah, Kimmich whips one in, Vanna beats Charlie Creswell in the air, and De Ligt's header was well saved by Cabell initially, but Frankie de Jong seems to play a 1-2 with Stefano Stridi and convert from 2 yards out. Bayern in front, and to be fair, whilst we have had their chances, they've looked the better team in terms of the stats out there. Bayern in front, and I don't know if it will come back from it. Oh, it will! Diogo Costa with a howler. Picked him up in the first half. He's the best goalkeeper in FM. Well, every now and then the best will still make mistakes. Yusufa Moukoko scores his first goal since returning, and it's the easiest goal he'll get all season long. The Portuguese shot stopper with a shocking pass, and Moukoko 7 yards out couldn't believe his luck. 1-1 instant response. De Jong intercepts the Romero ball, and our chance here for Bayern on the break. Here's Kimmich out wide to Alphonso Davies. Luka tracking back, doesn't want to bring down a Canadian. Great interception by the Dragon, but the danger not fully clear here as Musiala gives it Alfonso down the left-hand side. Romero to beat, does skip round the Argentine, pegs it back, and Jamal Musiala puts it just over. Can we hang on to close out 90 minutes still tied at 1-1? Cruiser sends it long, and Romero nods onto Moukoko, and a good chance here for a counter as Yusufa says no, let's play it back to Stridi and keep it calm. Cruiser to Stefano, our 2 Wonder Kid new gens. As Charlie Creswell gives it to the Italian. Forward we go here. Nice build-up. Good ball. Moukoko latches onto it. Denied by Costa. Flag stayed down, but we couldn't convert from close range. We've had some chances tonight. We've had some chances. We just haven't taken them. Still 1-1. Is anyone going to win this here in normal time? The Dragon to Reina. And the American back to Cruiser. It's a lovely ball to Anthony Company. Surely, yes! Dortmund lead for the first time at the Allianz. But it's going to go to VAR. I thought it was onside. It was a great ball by Cruiser. And it stands. Anthony Company with a finish. And this is why I want to play Cruiser at DLP. The vision, the positional sense, the passing, the decision making. Brilliant. Finds Company. And the Spaniard gives us the lead. 13 minutes to hold on to the Super Cup. What a ball, young man. What a ball. And Dortmund have the lead. 10 minutes on the clock. Can we now hold on to this? Evan Nilsson stepping inside. Plays it across. Van's shot is blocked. And Tufati picks it up and De Jong converts for 3 points. As we still lead by 1. Hanging on in there. Corner, Dortmund, nets, whips one, far post, headed away by De Ligt. And Davis flicks on to Musiala. And here come Bayern on the break. Ansu Fati. I don't want to change the tactics because we've conceded a lot of chances. We've created a lot as well. As Jamal down the left-hand side whips one in. Evan Nilsson fires home. It will go to VAR, but he looked on to me. I think that will stand. 2-2, and Bayern have found their leveller. Oh, no, it's been disallowed. It must have been a fraction offside as Evan Nilsson is denied. He looked on to me. He looked on. I see this on the replay. And no, he's just a fraction offside. Right call by the VAR. And we're still in front by 1. I'm going to take off Ozcan for Moulon, the young, hard-working Frenchman. I think I'm going to go ahead and take off. I don't know really, because everyone's played quite well out there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change things slightly here and go 4-3-3. I'm going to ask Reina to come back to CM. I'm going to bring on Lakonga, who's just so good at dictating play. I'll have him as a DLP, but actually ask Cruiser now to play as an anchorman. So we've now got 2 men sitting back, which will really help us secure our back line. We've got 5 minutes to hold on to this. Our first honour since joining Dortmund, albeit a minor one. And I think we're going to do it. We're in stoppage time. I'm going to pause and go 3D. Have we just picked up our first honour since joining Borussia Dortmund, albeit a minor one? The answer is yes, Borussia Dortmund have won the Super Cup. It's not the Bundesliga, it's not the DFB Pokal, and Lord knows it's not the Champions League, but it's my first win over Nagelsmann, and therefore I am going to celebrate it. My first minor honour since joining Dortmund. It's the Super Cup, it's not the one we'll remember, but it is a trophy regardless. Gregor Kobel lifts it, and we start the season off with our first win over Bayern and a trophy in the cabinet. Absolutely buzzing. It's me and Colo Torre clapping the boys. Absolutely buzzing that we've got our first minor honour since joining Dortmund. Oh, look at us, the shithousery going to the Bayern fans behind the goal at the Allianz. Luca Net's doing a cartwheel. Who was that tapping the badge there? I'm not too sure. But yeah, Dortmund have won the Super Cup. And actually, we're going to the corner there where the fans are. But even so, there we go. There we go. My first honour since joining Borussia Dortmund. I'm going to say to the boys here, enjoy the celebrations. We worked hard for this. But lads, it's a minor honour. It is a minor honour, not a major honour. It is nice to win it. But we want to win much, much bigger honours than this. AKA the Cup, the League, and one day the Champions League as well. So my first honour since joining Borussia Dortmund, my first win over Nagelsmann's Bayern was a comeback. And we have won the Super Cup and put a trophy back in the Dortmund cabinet for the first time in, what was that, 5 years? When was their last one? The DFB Pokal? 2026. Yeah, 5 years. We've done it. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Right, guys, we shall leave it there. So big fan, wish the season opener. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you had, then please drop a like. If you'll have a fantastic day. Hopefully, that is a sign of things to come this season, but I wouldn't bank on it. I'll return in the next episode with games against. Should we play the first 2 league games? Bayern and Eintracht Frankfurt. I mean, Bayern, Bayern, not Bayern. I think let's do that. Let's do the first 2 league games because we didn't beat Bayern in our 2 meetings against them last year, and that'll be a big battle there for the 2 teams that are just trying to battle Bayern for the titles this year. We'll come back with a season opener in the Bundesliga, Bayern away at the Bayer Arena, and Eintracht Frankfurt in our first game to signal do the party season. Have a great day, much love, and I'll see you next episode on the Football Manager Save very soon.